In this video, we will take a look at the Broker Brain inbound email feature. The video is broken into three parts. First, we will look at the Admin tab for enabling the feature and controlling who can send emails into your system. Next, we'll look at the My Account tab and user-specific settings. And third, we'll look at how the email system ties into the notes system within Broker Brain. To enable the inbound email feature, you'll click on the Admin tab at the top of the page, the Site Settings tab to the left, and then scroll down the page until you locate the Enable Inbound Email checkbox. Simply check this box and scroll to the bottom of the page and click Submit to enable this feature. However, it's important to note that once this feature is enabled, when you send emails from the note sections within a property, the messages will no longer show as coming from your private email address, but instead they will come from a Broker Brain email address. And this is what allows us to have the messages come back into Broker Brain and be filed away in the properties from the note sections from where the initial message was originated from. There are three levels of security for people sending email into your Broker Brain system. There is a white list, a gray list, and a black list. People on the white list can respond to any message sent from Broker Brain with a valid email signature, and that message will be accepted and stored as a note to the appropriate note section within the property. People that are not on the white list are considered gray. The system will allow messages to come in from gray users, but you'll have to accept the message before a corresponding note is added to the property. Anyone on the black list will not be able to send any messages into your Broker Brain system. Their messages will be blocked. Any valid Broker Brain user, in addition to anyone in your contact system, is considered to be whitelisted. You can add additional email addresses to the whitelist under the Admin Email Access tab. Here you can also define what users are blacklisted. Under the My Account tab in Broker Brain, each individual user has a series of preferences that they can set for how the inbound email feature will work for them. On the right-hand side under Email Options, down about halfway, there's a checkbox that says Send email from my private address. This basically disables the inbound email feature for this user, so that if an email is generated from a note section within Broker Brain by, in this case, myself, the email will show as coming from my private address, in this case Glenn@brokerbrain.net. When someone responds to that email, the email will just go back to my private email address, and that'll be the end of it. So for the most part, you don't want this feature turned on unless you have particular users within your office where you don't want their correspondence logged into your Broker Brain system. By turning this particular preference off, they are basically opting into the inbound email feature. And the important thing here is looking to see what their Broker Brain email address is. In this case, my Broker Brain email address is company.7@brokerbrain.net. Now, company is the name of the URL for my Broker Brain site. And if we look up to the URL bar, we'll see that my company site is company.brokerbrain.net. Yours would obviously be different. The number 7 is my assigned user number in my Broker Brain system. So any message sent from me through the note system in Broker Brain will show that this message comes from company.7@brokerbrain.net. And then when the user or the recipient on the other side replies to this email, the message will come back into Broker Brain, and because there is a note signature at the bottom of that email, the system will know where to file that note within my system. The next checkbox below that is called Disable Gray List Note Notifications. The system by default will notify you when gray listed messages come in to your user account or your Broker Brain email address. If you don't wish to receive these automatic notifications, you can check this box to disable that. The third section down below that is called My Inbound Message Notifications. If the inbound email system is on, and if I haven't overridden the inbound email feature for myself, and the messages are coming back to my Broker Brain email address, I can have the system automatically forward the incoming messages to any number of different email addresses, or also notify me that a message has been received by Broker Brain or someone responded to a message that I had originally sent. In this case, I'm choosing to forward my messages that come back into Broker Brain to my private email address, glenn@brokerbrain.net. That way I get a copy of all of the messages that come back into Broker Brain to me in my inbox for Outlook or whatever email client I might be using. I also have the ability to add a notification that is going to be just a generic email from us letting you know that an email has been received for your user within Broker Brain. And you can add any number of forwards or notifications to yourself or anybody else. You can add cell phones, mobile messaging devices, or whatever you would like, and those notifications and or forwards will go to the corresponding email addresses that you set in this section. Once the inbound email feature is enabled, as long as you haven't opted to send messages from your private email address, all emails generated from a notes section within Broker Brain will now contain a Broker Brain correspondent signature at the bottom of the message. When your email recipients respond to these emails, this signature, once it comes back into Broker Brain, will tell the system where to route this particular message to. So if you sent the original message from a certain property's offer section, the system would know which property this particular email was associated with, which offer it was associated with, and would store a new note in that area of the property, keeping track of your entire correspondence chain related to that email. All emails sent and received from within Broker Brain can be found under the Email tab at the top of your screen. Here we're looking at my inbox, and what we see is an entire chain or a conversation that took place that started with me. So I basically sent a message to glenn@brokerbrain.net. We see that message below. A couple things here. We can forward this message. I can mark it unread. I can delete the message. And off to the right, it's telling me where this message was generated from. It was generated from this particular property in the Property Notes section. I then responded to that message, and here's my response along with the attachments at the bottom, and it's telling me that the response was also filed in that particular property in the Property Notes section because of our signature. Now I also responded to that message from a email address that was gray listed, and that's what the little warning icon here indicates, is that the message did not come from a trusted sender. Now it has not been added as a note to the property yet because it was not a trusted email. So I'm going to go ahead and click the email did not come from a trusted sender link over here to the right and click to accept. Now when I click that, you can see that the email is now associated with that particular property in the Property Notes section, and the little warning icon is gone. In the situation where a signature on the note is either altered or removed and Broker Brain does not know where to put the note when it comes back to you, you'll also receive a little warning icon associated with that. And off to the right there's a warning that says that the note does not exist for this message, but we still have the ability to assign this note to a property and a section within that property. So I'm going to go to my properties. I'm going to search for Ponderosa. I'm going to navigate to that property, and within the Notes section we're going to choose to put that particular email in the Property Notes section for this particular property. So I'm going to click plus on my note signature, and off to the right here I'm going to click the pick button, and the pick says that the signature was saved. Now when I go back to my Email tab and click on that particular email that didn't have a note associated with it, because I've picked a location, this message over here now says that this will be assigned to that particular property and the Property Notes section. When I click that, are you sure you want to assign this note? Yes, I am. And this note has now been created associated with this email back in that property's notes section. The last feature associated with inbound email is the ability to send an email from your personal email account and have that email come into Broker Brain and be filed away as a note within a property. The way you do that is determine where you would like the email to end up within your Broker Brain system. In this case, we're at the 6522 American Flower property. We're in a utility. I open the utility and go to the Note section for that utility, and you'll see that there's a button that says Note Signature. When I open that up, it reveals a signature that I can use that identifies this section within the property. I can copy this signature, go to my email program, forward whatever email I would like to send into Broker Brain to my personal Broker Brain email address, which is listed right here, and
paste the signature anywhere into the body of that email. When I send that email will come into Broker Brain. A new note will be created from the text within the note, and all the attachments from that email would also be stored with the note.